What's up, Internet Quadron here. Just so you guys know that I know what I'm talking about, I just wanted to show you guys the current stats for the Soltech server. I am number one right now in Soltech, and I'm a top 100 player overall. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into some M30 air-to-ground action right now. Okay, so here we are out at the crossroads area. So right now I'm just cleaning up some snipers that are running around the hills. We've kind of pushed the main force of Van U back, and so I'm just flying around, picking them off. And one thing that I want to make really clear regarding why I like the M30 is that I believe it enables me to use scout radar in a way that I can't use with Breaker Rocket's Vortec. Let me explain. So if I've got the M30, it is the key about the M30 is that it's effective versus air, versus ground, versus tanks. So I can kill all three of those targets, which means that I don't really need to have a secondary weapon, which allows me to equip afterburners. Because, for example, if I equip Vortec, which is good against air, and I equip Breaker Rockets, which is great against like infantry and tanks, then I can't equip afterburner tanks because both slots are taken up. So basically, using the M30 allows me to use the afterburner tanks, which the key that I want to point out there is that now, because I have afterburner tanks, I feel a lot more comfortable not having flares on my aircraft. Because I can afterburner away from missiles, I can afterburner to cover, I can afterburner to get to safety if I'm injured. At least I have twice as much afterburner available to me, which allows me to pick up scout radar instead of flares, which then allows me to be kind of the all-seeing eye in the sky as far as anti-infantry. 200 meters in any direction, so 400-meter area of scout radar is insanely useful when going air to ground. That being said, I use the M30 shotgun, scout radar, dogfighting airframe level 3 because that allows me to use my rudder to turn much more quickly. It basically increases your rudder turn speed by twice, which is really helpful when you're doing really low to the ground and you need to do this aiming without having to do pitch up, turn around, and stuff like that. And keep in mind, infrared was recently nerfed in the last patch, so it doesn't go as far, but in terms of how I use it, it still works just as good because I oftentimes fly really close to the ground when I'm using this. Notice that I've got 7 shots right now, and I'm going to kill this guy in less than 7 shots. So, bam, he's dead. It takes about 6 or 7 shots basically to kill an aircraft from full health to dead. It takes 6 if you hit every single bullet. Maybe 5 if you hit every single bullet. But for sure 6 will kill an aircraft pretty easily. And if you upgrade the magazine size on your M30, it will actually get up to 7 shots in the magazine. So that's pretty awesome. So let me go ahead and talk for a minute about positioning. So right now I'm at the Tarek Tech plant, and I'm trying to position myself such that anti-air can't really shoot me, and at the same time I'm protected from tank fire. I want to only engage infantry, because if I'm only engaging infantry, they're basically screwed. Now when you're flying in these corridors, you want to use spacebar pretty much exclusively. You never want to use throttle up down. You want to tilt up and down, kind of like a helicopter. So if I'm tilted down like this aiming at aircraft, notice I'm moving forward at like 15 kilometers per hour. So I'm gradually going to slide forward. So I tilt up and I hit spacebar to go backwards. So I go back into cover. And keep in mind that I'm tilting to like tilt left, hit spacebar, and then I go to the left. That's how I'm controlling myself, and that's how you can have like really precise control over your reaver in tight corridors, and also when you're landing too. That's also really important when you're landing. Now I had a missile launched at me, so I'm kind of freaking out. I want to make sure that the missile doesn't hit me, and I'm just flying kind of sloppy. Now the important thing to note though right there is that I bumped into the wall, right? And how many times, if you're a reaver pilot or ESF Mosquito, whatever you fly, whenever you bump into the wall, how often times do you die? Like I die. When I first started flying, I used to die almost every time I started bumping into the wall, because you panic, you hit spacebar, you hit forward, you try to fly away, and also you usually stay inside a cockpit view or whatever. Whenever you bump into a wall, what you want to do is just immediately slow down. Get a gauge on where you are, go to external view, and just get your bearings straight and fly away, and go repair, basically. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here for a second to make sure we get back into the action as soon as possible. So we're going to head back into Tarek. This is kind of a long run. I'm getting some ammo right now, and right now I think I don't have very many ammo upgrades on my M30. I've just got like 3 or 4. which I've got a lot of certs right now. I probably should put them into it. But anyway, whatever. So, kill the Meg Rider there, and in a second I'll have a clip that shows me taking out a tank. But this is another great example of long distance shooting with the M30. So I did 7 shots into those guys, didn't kill any of them, but now I'm doing 7 more, and I get a double kill here. And that to me, it like just shows how effective the M30 can be at a distance, especially if you're killing infantry, like groups of infantry is what I'm trying to say. Now I'm taking a lot of damage here, so what you want to do is straighten out, get to cover, stop taking damage, and notice when I slow down here, I tilt my nose up and press spacebar to slow myself down to make sure I don't take damage. You can also tilt your nose down and press C. That'll also slow you down more quickly than normal. So basically, if you ever get in the red, you want to afterburner away, get to safety, repair, and get back into action as quickly as you can. Now notice how I'm approaching this. I'm approaching slowly, like really slowly, to where I'm only using my spacebar. And now I'm doing pop shots, basically. I want to unload my entire magazine, or almost my entire magazine, on groups of infantry, and then pop back down. And the reason you don't want to stay up, or the reason you don't want to just fly through, is that as soon as you fly through, you're going to expose yourself to all kinds of anti-air, potential tank fire, and I can't tell you how many times I've actually died to tanks doing this, because tanks can aim up in the air and shoot you. So that's all you want to be active. You want to be moving up and down regularly, like non-stop. So unload your magazine, hopefully get a kill, maybe get 2 kills, and get low. And now, when you're using the M30 like this, you're going to take a lot of damage. So you can go back and repair, but oftentimes it can be much quicker to try to find a safe place to land right by the front lines and just repair up as quickly as possible, and then go back into the fight. So you're going to have much higher XP per minute, much more kills per minute. So this clip basically, I'm trying to showcase how effective you can be against tanks. So I'm looking around for potential targets. I see some tanks on the hill. Tanks to me are secondary. I always go for infantry if I have the option. But if a tank's by itself, if they're not paying attention perhaps, or if it's low health, I'll take out the tank. Notice I'm reloading whenever I can. And how many shots does it take to take out a tank? Probably around 10. 10 from behind will usually to kill it. If you're hitting it right in the perfect sweet spot, right in behind, it'll take probably like 7 shots. But that's really hard to do. So usually it takes around 10. And if you're hitting it from the side and top, it's going to take probably 15 or 20. So if you're not shooting it from behind, you're going to have a lot, you're going to shoot it a lot more times. So once I get my health down around 50% again, I'm going to go repair. 50 to 70% depends on the battle zone. So I'm flying through. I see my squad mates need some help. I'm doing a reverse thrust maneuver there. Now, if you need to know how to do a reverse thrust maneuver, I have a really detailed, good guide on how to do it on my channel. So be sure to go check that out. I'll also have a link in the video description if you want to go check out the reverse thrust maneuver. So I'm doing another reverse thrust maneuver. Now I saw a second ago there that the guy had a rocket launcher. You never want to fight a guy with a rocket launcher really close. You want to always be, I don't know, at least 100 feet away, 200 feet away to give yourself a chance to dodge the rocket launcher. I see there's a spot beacon there, but first I want to kill any infantry in the area. That's my priority number 1. And once I've killed all the infantry, then I want to take out the beacon, or if there's like a lull. So here's kind of a lull. I don't see any infantry. I'm going to go and kill the beacon. It takes 2 or 3 shots at medium range. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if you're looking to counter someone who does this style strategy that I'm doing, what you want to do is just have everybody focus their infantry fire directly on the Reaver, because you guys will kill it very quickly. These 2 guys only shot me for what, like 5 seconds, and I'm already down to half health. But obviously the M30 is really good against them, so it doesn't really matter. Now, obviously, one of the huge dangers of flying a Reaver and doing this hovering kind of anti-infantry dogfighting style is that you're going to get taken out by aircraft regularly. They're going to be able to come up on you and kill you very quickly. So here I am in the Zervin Amp Station, and this is one of my favorite things to do. When you're below the walls of a building like this, it's pretty hard for aircraft to notice you. They'll still notice you, so you have to be aware of it. But when you're down here like this, you can take out so many infantry, because the infantry are worried about other infantry. They're not really worried about aircraft as much. So, and especially if you're not using the rocket pods. Once you start using rocket pods, everyone's going to start noticing you and start taking you out. But when you're using the M30 shotgun hardly makes any noise. It's like a little pellet gun. and so oftentimes they'll just ignore you and allow you to just sit up here and shoot them. So an AA max comes out, that means it's time to go. So I'm going to go ahead and head back, repair, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut to when I come back here. One thing to keep in mind when doing this air to ground, hovering around bases really low, is that if aircraft see you, they can take you out usually before you have time to react. So you have to really be listening with your headphones for aircraft coming in. So I heard that mosquito coming in. I did use my space bar to make it sure that he couldn't actually hit me. Now notice what I'm doing here. I'm afterburnering until I get right up on his tail, and this is why afterburner fuel tanks are amazing, because even if it's a mosquito, even though he's faster than me, I can still catch up to him and take him out. Notice also that I did not open fire until I was right on him, so he had no time to react, and even if he does react, it's going to be really hard for him to shake me. So, and notice also that it takes, with M30, it took about 7 shots to kill him, because some of the bullets didn't connect. So only half the shotgun bullets actually hit him on a couple of blasts. Anyway, guys, so that concludes my air-to-ground tutorial. I'll be doing probably an air-to-air tutorial as well for the Reaver, and probably a general tips video, so be looking for those. I'm also going to be doing a lot of giveaways on the channel, so be sure to subscribe and check back regularly for that. And anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you guys next time. And, of course, I do post more than just PlanetSide videos. I post lots of general gaming videos, too. So, anyway, guys, I will catch you later.